I'm actually just going to open up Project Zomboid and make sure it's loading in before I start doing all the chit chat and stuff. Because it's got to convert my save. Also, for some reason, there's a whole bunch of my stuff, my games and shit that are just not immediately capturing. So, don't worry. Also, Zomboid's considering crashing. Oh my god, they have like little tips for help and shit now. Hold on. Why aren't you picking up? I don't know what it is, but Streamlabs I feel like must have done an update and all of my shit is just refusing to auto capture stuff. I don't want to auto it in case it picks up something else. Purple hair? I will purple hair, Abra. Hold on. There we go. I might have to... I don't want to have to force this to do a thing, but I'm gonna... No, not my avatar. That ain't gonna help you. Fuck it. You get forced fucking Project Zomboid for a hot second. Now, send that back and see if it will pick up. How am I going? I'm going alright. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Look, fucking Streamlabs did a update, I think at the start of the week, and since then, all of my like game captures have just like got rooted. So every time I go to like click on a game, it works until I hit go live. Like yesterday with the Lion King thing, it was previously capturing on Pokemon. But anyway, I guess now that I know what it's doing, it's not a difficult fix so long as it doesn't pick up weird information or weird programs and stuff. But yeah, fucking welcome in everyone. I had to kind of like click over to this because I know that the game's got to convert the file to the new update, and I know it takes a while, so I'm like, there's no point me sitting here chitty chatting and stuff and then going to the screen and, you know, waiting longer and stuff. So I thought I'd just go straight to this for a change, but it doesn't look like it's taking too long, which is sort of good. I know multiplayer came out for anybody that wasn't aware of it with Project Zomboid. As you may have noticed, I put a couple more tags around the place that specifically highlights that this is solo, because yeah, I'm still playing this solo, and I'm sure there'll be some people out there that, you know, maybe aren't interested in watching people play multiplayer just at this moment. I do find this really interesting. They've added this in at least, so it doesn't look like it's not doing anything. It gives you information, which is interesting, because like in 7 Days to Die, I feel like that's how I learnt a lot of stuff. But I'm not like currently reading it. I might, if I can remember, I'll make a little marker. I'll come back to this after stream and I'll read what all that was. But yeah, apart from that, I'm doing okay. I don't know, my stomach's been doing some like grumblies at me. It's pretty upset about something, I don't know fucking what. But aside from that, didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but it's okay. I have like a lot of chores to do this weekend. A lot of cleaning, which I'm not looking forward to, but I mean, whatever. And I made rumbles, which I haven't put a photo in Discord just yet. They are my family's traditional recipe. So it's, I've kind of like been buying them from stores and stuff over the years, being like, oh, I don't have the recipe, and I really want rumbles, but store-bought rumbles are not the same, because like my family, how they make them taste wildly different. And also they do actually contain alcohol versus store-bought ones, which do not. So yeah, It was kind of nice to make those because, like, once they set and once I started eating them, once they're like properly set and shit, I'm like, oh, it took me back to my childhood because I used to make them when I was a kid. Really weird, I know, but I used to make a lot of like alcoholic stuff when I was a kid. Don't know why, but I must have been good at it. So anyway, I used to make that when I was a kid and I haven't made it for at least 15 years easily. So it's nice to make that, and my partner will probably try one. He's not a big try new food fan kind of person, but he reckons he wants to see what they're all about kind of thing. So I made like a couple of little small sample sized ones for him, so he might try them later. But he's currently sick, so even if he was to eat one, he wouldn't be able to like taste it and shit, so they're gotta wait. But they're freezable, so it's not like it's an issue, you know. So I'm tired as hell from party. I'll work for another 2 hours. That's right, you had your work Christmas party or whatever last night, didn't you? That was last night, yeah. By the sounds of it, it sounds like it was like a long night, since you're pretty tired. But yeah, in my case, I don't know, I kind of just stayed up. I did like some just, I don't know, small tidying stuff this morning. Before I knew it, it was like almost 11 a.m. and I'm like, shit, I gotta go to sleep. But I kind of woke up not early, but early-ish for me. So yeah, I haven't had like a lot of sleep, but I'm okay. I got into the bus at 1 a.m, got back home at 3:20 a.m, went to work at 6:50. You know, I'm assuming there's probably an extra like half an hour to an hour that was lost after you got home for like getting ready for bed and shit too, probably. So it was probably like what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours sleep for you then? No wonder you're fucking tired. Like obviously travel safe and shit and get some rest. But yeah. I was just thinking, I'm like, I don't think you're in Discord, Abra. I don't think you're in my Discord, but there was conversation afoot about Project Zomboid as well. So, yeah. That's why I reached out. And it's also why I put out the, what do you call it, the Twitch story thing. And I'm like, let me get everybody like up to speed with their games, so everybody who wanted to do multiplayer, because I know a lot of people that wanted to play multiplayer Project Zomboid and were waiting, and I'm like, if they're like me, right, I don't typically, like, I do nowadays, but I don't typically go and check updates on games, not normally, but unless it's like something I'm going to play the next day or something like that, it may impact me that way. But yeah, I actually checked it out of the blue, and I'm like, hang on a second. it's done the multiplayer thing that everybody's been waiting for. I'm like, I might as well tell people, hey Bezel, get a chance to hang out, but I'm waiting for the game to convert the files at the moment. I also backed up the game too. I looked up how to do that. I haven't done it for any of the previous times. I've been pretty much under the assumption that if it fucks over my save, we just start anew. But it shouldn't impact my game too much, but there were other things that were changed. So like, I read the thing, but I was reading it on like my phone in a sleepy state, so I don't know how much I really got memorized out of it. But I did like the fact that you could have like canteen drink bottles on your body instead of in your body. I thought that was neat. I haven't found them myself, but I do know a few people that have had canteens to hold water, and I thought that was great. Obviously, I don't think I've come across one myself. I think I came across one in 41. I played like all of like 3 days of 41 last Christmas to New Year's, and I think I found one then, but I didn't keep it on my person because it was so heavy compared to a plastic drink bottle. But if I have the option in 42 to wear it and that maybe lowers some encumbrance, I can see that being beneficial. But I'm still trying to figure out personally how to balance like the weight of items and the quantity of items. I'm not there yet. I'm literally just like, we've got one person that's finally alive for more than a month. I don't know if I've ever had one alive for a month, but we do now. I've got some stuff to do around the base. I was going to say around home. I do have stuff to do around home, like IRL, but nah, I have to, I want to get her to do, we're going to do some like light reading, because we're back home. We'll see which book she can read, because she should be like skill 2 in some of them now. And it's been a while since we've been home. And I do have to unload the cars. I want to try to fix a couple of the cars, if I can. Or at least install the parts I brought back. I'd like to take a look at metalworking, but I've never done it, so I don't know if I can figure it out. But I'll take a quick squiz. And I have a lot of wood around the house, which I could buff up her carpentry skills massively, which, oh, I forgot I put, I knew I was going to do this eventually, sorry. Catch you guys up on this. I accidentally cut my face this morning, and I had a band-aid on it until like only right before stream. And I took it off and I'm like, oh, I should put some moisturizer on that. And I was just casually kind of like mindlessly rubbing my face, and I found I hadn't like rubbed it in. I found the blob of moisturizer and I like wiped it down my face. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Because I don't use moisturizer. And yeah, that was a gross surprise. I knew I'd do it eventually, but I thought I'd have more time for it to set in, you know? Because there's a cut on my face, I want it to like have the best chance of healing. I don't have really good like ability to heal, because of my Crohn's and shit. I don't know if that's, everybody has this, but I think it's a malnourishment issue on my end. But yeah, because it's on my face, I want to give it the best chance to kind of heal, because like I'm doing really well with my Crohn's. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, I have like multiple medical conditions, and Crohn's disease is one of the big ones that's impacted my life for a long time. But I'm actually getting to a point now where I would say it's almost not active at all, and I feel very human. I feel like anything from just standing and walking, cognitive thinking, general eyesight, everything just feels so normal. And it's very hard to explain that if, you know, yourself, you don't have like a chronic condition, or you don't have something that like physically impairs your senses and shit, or any of this sort of stuff. But yeah, I've been under like a wave of chronic fatigue and pain and stuff for like a decade. So, well, actually probably a decade and a half at this point. But either way, I'm kind of at a point where like everything's returning to normal. The only thing I'm still like weak about is healing. Like surface level wounds and stuff like that, I scar really badly, instead of like most people's skin just knits back together and it's gone. You don't even know it was ever there. But mine, my body leaves marks. So yeah, I'm trying to help this one along, because I'm like, I don't really care about scars and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I think it's just a sign of existing. But as far as like on my face, like it feels like it's like front and center, and I'm like, I don't want that. So I'm just trying to help that. But yeah, I guess now my hands have moisturizer, so, because obviously I rubbed the blob on my head, so that was my fault. I thought I could get away with it being uncovered for longer. But obviously when I'm talking, and you know when you talk, like your mouth and your cheeks and your eyes and everything just kind of shifts and moves a tiny bit. And I think my body could sense that there was something there that was like not moving with everything. And it was just being like, I don't know what this is, you better scratch at it kind of thing. I just obviously need a little time. Better start it now if I want to play it later. Well, this is for converting a file. If you're starting a fresh game, Abra, I don't know if it's going to have the same issue, but like, I feel like any major update Zomboid has, it's always like this. This is why I said, like, as soon as I started, I immediately went, I'm going to load the game. Like, I almost did this while we were on countdown, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be dead silence. Like, it's not apparently. Apparently it's making some noise because my desktop's picking up audio of something else other than me. But, hold on, no, there is a little bit of ambience. Hold on. Let me turn up my headset. Oh, it's like wind. Like wind and... It's kind of like a spooky ambience kind of thing of, you know, like an overly windy day and you're inside a house and it's all like battened down and stuff. It sounds like that if I turn up my volume. Because I was going to say, I'm like, it's picking up something, but I figured it was going to be dead silence. So I'm like, instead of having that on the countdown, which I could have just done because eventually I would have clicked in and would have had this anyway, but I don't know. I'm relatively quite confident that I can hold a conversation for at least 10 minutes while doing nothing. I think I've proven that over several streams now. But, yeah. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I'll put photos of the rumbles in Discord too later. I haven't yet. Let me get some water. Hold on. I sort of took a photo of them when they weren't quite set, but like they don't change too much between like A and B, set and not set, but they look a lot better now that they're in like a proper container. And I'm like, I may take fresh photos again, but I have also not quite eaten half a container. Like they're like 3 containers, just to clarify this. There's like 3 containers of them, but like I've eaten like almost half a container of them. It's because unlike when I was a kid, when we were a kid, we had to wait until like lunchtime on Christmas Day before we could start eating them, right? But as an adult who made them, I can literally just walk by and snack on them whenever I'm in the fridge, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I don't know how long they'll last, but I'm willing to make a second batch if I need be for Christmas, because I've got like what? It's not quite 2 weeks till Christmas. Hold on. Yeah, it's not quite a fortnight till Christmas, and even though they don't really have anything that would like super expire, I'll probably freeze one of the containers just to kind of prolong the freshness. And yeah, that way if I make like a second batch and stuff like that, I can enjoy them all the way up to New Year's and stuff, because I don't fucking know how long they last as one person. This is more of an experiment at the moment. Was it also trying Minecraft? What the fuck? I just saw that come up down here and I'm like, wait a minute. I've actually never played Minecraft. Not really my jam. Which is funny because it's like Square and Survival Builder, which is similar to 7 Days to Die, but the pixel graphics make me sick a little bit. Not in like, oh, they disgust me, as in like I get nauseous from watching the game. Is everything, it kind of reminds me of like graphics when I was a kid and everything was super pixelated. And if you were like too close or too far away, you're just outside of the range of where the image makes sense. That's not going to make a lot of sense to a lot of young people, but yeah, there's like a safe focal distance that you're supposed to view it at, or otherwise it looks blurred or like you can't make out the shape kind of thing. But yeah, I get that with Minecraft. That's why it's part of why I don't play, apart from the fact I don't have it. But it looks like it's in the basically like the home run of we're almost there. You can't shoot the helicopter. Wait, do people try to shoot the helicopter? Also, you know what's funny is I thought that the helicopter event was actually like a multiple thing. I thought that it was something that would happen like once a week in Project Zomboid. I didn't know that it was like a one-off event and then it's done forever, which is kind of interesting. I was watching some videos where people were kind of like speculating what it was supposed to be about. And a lot of people, including myself, thought it was like a news reporter thing. Or like, for instance, they were trying to... I'm gonna check your corners. Looks like it's almost there, I guess. It's not letting me click, I'm trying. Yeah, I thought it was one of those things where it was either like a news reporter or somebody trying to divert a horde away from their people or a location to try to evacuate somebody. But yeah, after it did its thing and went away, like we had those like 50 odd zombies out the front, but they fully just dispersed, like they just disappeared. I don't know if that was like a couple of patches, which actually we'll have to check our storage too, because the last time they updated the game and did stuff, half my supplies disappeared. I do think it was because I had it on the ground, but everything's in boxes now, so it shouldn't like disappear. The fuck? What? I'm so fucking confused. I just waited probably 15 minutes and this isn't my character. This will sadly not work. Well, I have my old save. If I don't convert it... I feel like we just converted that. I can always throw it back in and disagree with updating it. Because this one wasn't as soon. Hold on. Version is not working, I think. Well, if it's not working, let me chuck you guys on to just chatting for a moment. I'll quit out of the game and I'll copy my save back over the top of it and I'll disagree with the update and I'll go in. Where did I put that? I'm super glad I backed up this morning. I don't usually, but I'm kind of glad I backed up. Alright, hold on. I remember where it was. I think there. Alright, let's paste that over it. It shouldn't take too long. Zombies. Why would I be? I'm also playing in Builder, so there's not that many zombies. There's a lot of people didn't update because of that, or I had to start over. Well, that would explain why so many people were like immediately just fresh save playing multiplayer as of today. Like I understood that there'd be like a lot of people that were waiting exclusively to play multiplayer with people, but I didn't think there was that many people that wanted to play multiplayer with people. Like there will always be some people that just aren't going to, right? I just hope that this doesn't take the same amount of time to copy back over. I quit out of the game and it had time to close. Let me open up Steam. There we go. Yeah, it's going to definitely take like a couple of minutes, but that's fine. Yeah, that would explain why so many people were suddenly playing new games. Because if you didn't back up, because typically speaking, I don't back up before I load into the game, right? So I would have just jumped in and gone, well, fuck. I guess my month-long character is gone. And too bad, so sad. I guess that's what we're doing now, kind of thing. But I did back up this morning because I had a bad feeling about it. I had a feeling about it, which is why I went to trouble of doing it. I don't usually. Multiplayer Zomboid is amazing, but for the challenges, people prefer single player. Yeah, well, I'm still like learning it and shit. So, like, especially since like a lot of people play with mods, right? So I don't have a super huge desire to what do you call it? I don't have like a super huge desire to go like multiplayer with people. Like I'll probably play privately my partner over Christmas because he's got a little bit of time off and we'd be able to play like last year. Um I know a couple of streamers that are setting up to do group stuff, but it really just depends on like they would have to not be playing with mods for me to want to play. And also them not to spoil shit for me. Like if they turn around and start being like, "Oh, did you know you can do this?" without like any kind of like prompted, "Hey, how do I do this?" or "What's this good for?" Like it kind of ruins the experience of like learning the game, you know? Um Also welcome in, Chica. Issues why backups don't work now is a lot of things changes under the hood. Maybe breaking the old saves. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Multiplayer was huge for the game in B41. Game exploded in popularity tenfold at least. So I'm sure many of them ended up being single player players eventually. And brought so many people into the game was multiplayer and watching others on multiplayer. In the update posts, they did say that saves would be broken, likely incompatible with the new MP version. Stable update branch. Used to be called. Okay. Which stands for I will back up my saves. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if my save can literally do the backup while I'm streaming because this uses up a lot of resources. Like I said, eventually I'll upgrade my computer, but at the moment I'm using a fair bit of memory. Just streaming, it's not pulling much for the copy paste. Which is probably why the download took a bit, apart from the fact I'd have like kind of shit internet. But it's telling me it's gonna be more than a day to fix that up. And I was not planning on playing a fresh save at all today, so yeah. Too bad for that, I guess. The conversion process. I don't know, maybe if the stuff is missing, you'll probably want to use debug to spawn in anything that's missing. Suggest this in the post also. The other thing I wanted to have a look at was where I saved it. Would have been kind of easier if I had kept it nearby. It wouldn't take as long to copy, but all of it's just got updated, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me have a look at some stuff. What did you do? Because it took a while for me to copy this thing in the first place. It wasn't like it's a big file, but my computer was fucking slow about it. I'm gonna make myself some lunch. Be back shortly. Alright. Let's see. What are you doing? Because I know it's like trying to reload that, but I was curious where the previous save in game was. I don't think it's going to affect it if I load on like the previous one, but I'll hop back. It's not going to affect it because it's taking more than a day. So let's say files are full of tiny files. Number of files often much slower than the size of files. Pretty much. What? What's up? You've been howling at that tree. I heard you earlier. You went out there and you screamed at it for no good reason. You're not coming up. Come on up, you hop off the chair. Chair's available. He tried to jump up on the chair and ended up moving backwards. Now the chair's like rotating. This is Phoenix for anybody that doesn't know who a cat is. But he's being extremely vocal now that it's getting warm, because obviously the temperature feels better, so he's got more energy and stuff because he's like 16, right? So I'm sure he's got lots of like aches and pains and shit. Now, instead of hitting continue, because obviously that royally fucked over my save, I wanted to have a quick look at the backup. Play that. No, don't convert it. It's going to still load in without hitting the thing. No. Alright, so it won't let me into the other one either. Alright. Well, that's fair. There's probably no point in copying my thing forwards. It just kind of sucks that I don't know if I'll probably still have to update it. Let's leave that be. I'll have to go back in and like flush a fresh update on a new save, but I guess that was where that particular game ended. That really sucks though, because she was actually to a point where I could kind of do stuff. Like, she was the first character I had where she'd gone out and come home multiple times without dying, without being hurt, or without being infected in any capacity. And then, yeah, she survived. So kind of, we were at the point where I was about to like get her some fresh skills, and yeah, well, that was the thing. I kept her alive for over a month, and she was my first to do that, which is interesting. She had Reluctant Fighter and what's her skills? She had Reluctant Fighter and the Hunger. And she was the longest living one I had. The only problem I had with her was that she was slowly becoming underweight. And I was going to build up her weight because we brought home a bunch of stuff. But I have like a shit ton of like lollies and crap in the house. So I would have been able to have like buffed up her weight. And I had like the car stuff to install that I'd taken the time to bring home. We're going to read some books to enhance the skills that we had, because we had some good skills. And what else we have? We had so much wood. We had 4 hours worth of wood in the house of chopped up wood. But like in her playthrough, right? Because she was life number 18. I guess I got up to life 18 in that save. It does suck that like my original house and stuff is all gone too. It means I'm gonna have to find somewhere new. I did like where I lived. I don't know if I'll like beeline for the same place because I liked it, or if I'll try to find somewhere new. But yeah, we had like a shit ton of electronics to dismantle. I wanted to find my sleeping bag, and I'm really curious because I found the supplies that I found on survivors. Like, I assumed that survivors and stuff don't really like load in the same places, right? But yeah, I was going to try to get her carpentry skills up, and we could have run the power for a bit, which probably would have let me. I don't think I would have been able to do too much in the house, but there would have been light. Because where we lived, we just had like no one. I don't know if. All right. So regarding the stream at this point, I don't know if I have like. How do I put this? I kind of am a little bit pissed off, and I kind of can't be fucked starting a fresh game because I don't want to. But I think if I waited a week, I could probably like do that. But that would then mean no Project Zomboid tonight. And I wanted to play Project Zomboid. There's no real difference between playing tonight versus next week. But I feel like I need probably 20 odd minutes to go diffuse the pissed offness before I consider playing a game. And so my thought process is this: is I could put you guys on like a be right back for like 20 minutes, or put the starting soon back up for like another 20 minutes or something like that, since it has the appropriate timer on it. And kind of like, I don't know, go and be mad for a few minutes and then come back with the intention to play. Or I could just not stream tonight. But I think it would be better if I just took a little bit of time and went and like played later. I'm just a little bit frustrated that it doesn't, like, the save's gone, but I do have the original one. So do what you gotta do. Excited to be here. Yeah. Thank you for being here, Gumtro. I might put just on like 20 minutes. I feel like there's no difference between starting this week or next week, but I need like a little bit of severance between the game I thought I was coming in to play tonight versus the game that I will be playing tonight. So yeah, I'm sorry to delay you again, but it's like 10:30 p.m. now. So closer to 11, just set yourselves a timer for like 15, 20 minutes. I might be back sooner if I'm okay with it, or I might take a little bit longer. We'll see. But I'll probably end up playing a fresh game tonight. Just give me a little bit of time, all right? I'll be back.